Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
There's the red button thing in the corner.
Welcome to Dude, Where's My Safari? Episode fucking 3.
Number 3.
Where is the safari?
Average watch time 5 minutes 25 seconds. But it's fine.
That's 5 minutes of someone's life they're never getting back.
We don't care, do we? It's all good.
We've taken 5 minutes of your life.
Yeah. Add that what? What, 30 views times 5? There we go.
I'm not even
100
sorry.
150 minutes of your life. Yeah.
Given to us.
Yeah, I don't know. Math.
15 minutes. Oh no, 150. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks.
Right,
They
okay.
call me the Vordo.
Go.
Voldemort. Voldemort. God, sorry. What are we talking? We're going to talk about some stuff.
Jamie, what are we going to be talking about today, Jamie?
Well, Ben, on episode 3 of Dude, Where's My Safari, we are talking about...
You sounded like James Acaster.
I know! In my head, I was thinking that. I was like, if I mention it, you'd be like, what?
How do you pronounce it? Acaster?
Acaster.
Yeah.
Acaster.
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 Acaster Christie. Anyway. We've gone off.
Nice, yeah. No wonder only people only watches for fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah. This week it's down to 3 minutes.
But the episode length is 4 hours. You just see that. I'm like, nah, it goes up every week.
Someone literally right now is just pressing stop and going, I'm done.
That's what we should do. We're going to talk about the first gig you went to and the best gig you went to. How about
that? Amen. Fred Lowe, you want to kick it off?
Yeah.
Can you remember the first gig?
I can think, yeah.
Yeah, that
first
was a long
gig.
old time ago, wasn't it, boy?
You're all right, mate.
You're right.
Actually, I remember what year it was. I think it was 2001.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were older than that.
It was.
He wasn't born in 2001, but.
How old were you?
That would have made me. Well, I think I was 18 or something at the time. Okay. Yeah. This is not a math question. It's just about yeah.
Sorry.
Faithless in Johannesburg.
How many minutes did it go on for?
A good 2.5 hours, I think.
I like Faithless. You can't not like Faithless, really, can you? Really?
Love good. Faithless. Loved them. Right. Well, still love them. Yeah, really good.
Okay, so I
think what made it really cool was it was my first. Yeah, it was my first. But I think the best gig I've been to. Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Gig virginity.
Tell us about
the first one. To be honest, I'd say Chili Peppers in Sheffield. That was awesome.
Sheffield, such a rubbish place, though, isn't it?
Why did you go to Sheffield?
It wasn't great. Because it was the only one we could get tickets to. That everything else was sold out.
Stadium gig?
Sheffield Arena. I don't know. That's not a stadium, is it? Is
that probably like Sheffield Wednesday Stadium?
Right? Yeah, it's Arena. Stadium gig, best stadium gig, both time Metallica.
We're adding on questions.
Yeah, just
best pub gig.
Best
pub outdoor gig.
I'd always wanted to see the Chili Peppers. I saw them, and like we were saying last week, they're really they're quite good. Just going into jams and being spontaneous. I think that's really cool. Yeah, really cool.
What about Faithless? Not did they go into jams, but was it good?
Yeah, and also I just remember being very, very stoned.
Because it was every week.
Well, no, because I just remember there was just constantly joints being passed down the line. Somebody would light one up, and there's just constantly one coming, and you're just like, oh, okay, who's this? I don't know, smoking.
Choo choo.
Yeah. Johannesburg as well, isn't it? isn't that like a proper rough place?
Yeah.
So what's it like at a Faithless gig in Johannesburg? Is it rough or is it kind of? Well, it
Well,
sounded
no,
pretty chilled
it
out.
was all in like a massive arena, so it was quite protected, and there was like security and all that. You know, it's like when you go to any gig or concert anywhere in the world. But as soon as you step outside into the street, there's a good chance of you getting mugged or shot or hijacked. Both.
I bet
You get
it wasn't
mugged
like
first,
that in
then
Sheffield,
shot, and then
though,
they
was it?
realise you've got a car, then they'll take the car as well.
Whereas in Sheffield, it's just like you go out onto the street and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I'm slating Sheffield off massively. I've
Yeah,
never
they're
even
like,
been
well,
there. I'm just laying
you
into
guys.
Sheffield, and I've
No,
never
it was
even
alright.
been there.
I've been
It was
once.
You've been once. Why?
We played a gig. I played a gig.
Oh,
What, acoustic?
oh, was that
We
all
played
day
it.
event?
We played a gig for Tramlines Festival. I mean, it was like the fringe, the fringe of Tramlines. We played after some like Marilyn Manson, like dude.
That made me laugh so much.
Some
There was
Marilyn Manson dude. What like
yeah,
a
but
cover act
he made me
or a
laugh
tribute
so much.
or-
That's
His
all I
mic
can
kept
explain about
turning
it.
off. Didn't his mic keep like cutting out and turning off? Eventually, he unplugged and tried to shove it up his own ass.
He did.
What?
He
No.
did.
Yeah.
Well, that actually happened.
Yeah, but it was the way he did it. He wasn't like actually bending over and trying to insert this thing 9 foot into his ass. But he was just getting so annoyed with this thing. He was basically trying to say, "Well, this is just about as good if I just stick it up my ass." He was like looking at it, going, and then.
But I don't think that's a good enough, opinion on Sheffield. Just my bad experience didn't, to sum up Sheffield as a whole.
What we're saying is my views on Sheffield don't reflect the reviews of band.
No.
To be honest, I actually don't mind Sheffield. I've been in worse places.
Well, it's your best gig that
It's
you've
not
ever been
saying
to,
really
Sheffield,
anything
so
good, is
it
it?
holds a warm place in your heart.
I can't believe the best gig you went to is like in Sheffield. I love how I'm just slating it now.
Just slagging it off again.
Slating it now.
Straight into slagging it
Not
off.
going well. Should we start this again, guys?
Okay, well, maybe if you didn't pick a bloody gig in Sheffield, we would have been all right.
Johannesburg and Sheffield.
It's not about location,
both
boys.
my gigs are in London, and this prick's banging on about Johannesburg and fucking Sheffield.
This jet setting bastard. Jet setting Johannesburg and Sheffield. Good tour, lads.
We almost died.
That's like some weird Netflix documentary to Johannesburg. Well, probably the other way around, from Johannesburg to Sheffield.
Yeah, a bike ride.
Weird fucking travel documentary.
Yeah.
One
Carol
man's
Smiley.
journey.
What about you, Ben?
First gig was, so obviously when I was like a teenager and that, like really young teenager, I used to go to like all of like the band nights and stuff, but I don't think I can't remember specific one. Do you know what I mean? Like
bands, because they're just local bands.
So the first big gig I ever went to was AC/DC at Wembley Stadium.
Nice.
And
The first big gig.
Yeah, it was Wembley Stadium.
Well, old
AC/DC.
Wembley.
No, I'm not that old, you prick.
That's such a cackle.
No Wembley, you cheeky sod.
I remember the Arches.
No, the Arches and the new bit, you better.
I don't know.
The Towers were the old
remember.
one.
All right, the Towers, yeah. The Towers, sorry.
Anyway, and I just remember, so it was me and Ed, and we were all like buzzing for it. First gig ever. Oh, this is exciting. And we were massive AC/DC fans when we were growing up. So this was like awesome. This was like going to see like God to us. That Angus Young was like God. and we're just in the crowd, and we didn't know what to expect. And obviously, like stadium gig, we were right down the front in the heart of it all, and obviously they had like a sort of build up movie at the beginning, and it was all like, oh, this is exciting. And then when they came out, man, when those first chords hit, place this, but I think the first song, my feet didn't touch the ground. I was just like, oh god, and like the crowd was just going side to side, and I just remember it was like it changed my world. Like it was like a shot of adrenaline. It was just like heroin going straight into my veins. It was just like insane, so good.
It wasn't your ribcage getting crushed by the golden circle.
Yeah, like the endorphins kicking in to kill the pain.
It was the adrenaline of me getting crushed to death, but it was fucking awesome. And I just remember being like, I've got to do this more often. This is awesome. But it's not a bad first gig to go to.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at
and then
all.
best gig is you were at this gig, Jamie.
I know what you're going to say.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do.
It could be loads of gigs.
All right.
What gig do you think I'm going to say?
Masked Intruder.
Where?
So he's right. It was Masked
The
Intruder.
Black Heart.
It wasn't
The Macbeth. The Macbeth.
Macbeth, yeah. Masked Intruder at the Macbeth was just insane.
That was a really good gig.
That was the best gig I've ever been to. And the thing is, like, it's not even. It was like a tiny little venue. This band coming over from America. Not many people knew about them. They just been signed to Fat Wreck, and like, so there was a lot of buzz about it, but no one really knew what was going to happen. And you'll attest to this. Like, as soon as they came out, it was just non-stop, like chaos. There was people running along that, like, so it's little tiny venue, imagine, with a stage, like a sort of London venue. It's like, what capacity you could get in there? Probably like
300 max, but like
300 max, yeah. Tiny little venue, bar alongside, and there was people running along the bar and like diving onto the get. Oh, it was so awesome. The crowd surf, it was insane.
Yeah, I remember. So cool.
I mean,
So
I
cool.
might be being.
No, I think that was like one of the moments, wasn't it? Like it was just super. Like you could tell everyone was like in awe of like the whole atmosphere of the place. Like even the band were probably really, really surprised at how well their first UK show.
Yeah. That's the sort of stuff that you dream of as a musician. I think like moments like that when it's just like no one's expecting it, and then everyone's singing along the words. They've only just brought this album out. They're like only just got signed to this relatively big, massive label, Fat Wreck, but it's not major. And then all of a sudden they're like in England, in London, and everyone's singing the words back, and people are going fucking insane. It's just a good feeling.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I love how that's your favourite over like AC/DC, your first gig, and Masked Intruder. Like most people wouldn't know Masked Intruder were.
There was lots of gigs that I've been to that. Do you know what I mean? I like all gigs. Like there's rarely that I go to see a band that are relatively like most bands that I go to see are like usually like maybe punk bands from like America and stuff, and they've got quite a big following, and they're all good gigs. Do you know what I mean? I think as long as the crowd knows the words to the songs, every gig's going to be good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people might have off evenings, but most nights it's awesome. But that for me was just more the fact that no one was expecting it. We were in London to see this little band that we didn't know much about, but we knew their album was awesome, and we were just like, oh, this might be cool. But it was more like the fact that we didn't expect what was about to happen, and it kind of happened organically.
Yeah.
It was like a eureka moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it could have gone two ways. It could either like no one's there or everyone's there, and it's just like a pretty mundane like gig to be at because it's like all new, isn't it? Or it could be like phenomenal, which I don't think even anyone expected to be that good.
What are yours, JMO?
I had to think, like, get proper deep in the memory bank to think about gigs because it's like a blur, especially like the old ones, like back in like 2008 to like 2011. there was so like when you have like a period of time and you go to loads of gigs.
Yeah.
But my first gig, like proper gig, like you said about band nights and stuff, like there's loads of Harlequin and stuff, but they don't really count. My first gig was a really surprising one. No, one of my first gigs was Ruben at the Harlequin, actually. But it was my first proper gig was a secret show of him.
Yeah.
Go on.
I thought it was going to be either Ruben or him because I know you used to have a massive him crush.
Massive.
Him, like Band Margera's brother, him.
Huh?
That's
him, the band HIM.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that you like him.
They were my favourite band for years.
No way, really?
I Love Metal's a sick album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I just didn't expect Jamie. I've got no problem with him. In fact, I quite like him.
And last week, last week we were doing like underrated people. If I was gonna have to choose a singer, it might have been Ville Valo.
Yeah, he's an amazing songwriter as well.
His singing is so good.
Isn't that Bam Margera's brother?
No. It's his friend, and he used the heartogram on loads of his stuff during like Viva La
Band. Yeah, he's got the tattoo.
I used to have pink and purple
Adio
heartogram Bam Margera trucks, and I still got them somewhere. Actually.
I used to have the skate shoes that were linked to that set.
Oh, yeah, the
Adio ones.
Adios. Yeah. Man, those times were just such better times, weren't they?
So much.
Is it because we're old and we're just that was our time, or is it just it was better? It's not though. It was better, man. Do you get stuff like Jackass and stuff now, man? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was much better then.
I used to walk past the skate shops and the clothing shops, and just like really like it, but also be pissed off because I knew I could never afford that stuff.
I remember taking my mum down to like the skate shop at the bottom of like Street Talk, which is still there. It's like a museum.
Yeah, but Street Talk's all like sort of like sports stuff.
No, but the bottom bit has still that vibe of how it was. It still smells. It smells the same, and it hasn't been changed. It hasn't been changed in all these years. It's a relic of Red Hill.
We should do a video where we go back to Street Talk.
Yeah, it's called Back to Street Talk. It's a song.
Yeah, we'll put a song to go with it. Anyway, carry on. Sorry, Jamie. We went off on
It's all right.
We went off on a tangent.
You can't. When you mentioned him, you got to go off on a tangent. But yeah, it was a secret gig. They did a signing at HMV Oxford Street, and I went there, met the band, and then the secret show was round the corner at the borderline and Denmark Street, which is underground in front of like 100 people.
And that was your first gig ever?
Yeah, my first proper gig ever of that big band.
Good first gigs, didn't we?
Yeah, and I remember going with like some of the people from the forums who were older than me, because I think I was like 16, 17, and I went with some of the people from the forum, and my mum and granddad were like my first time like in London on my own, and they were like over the road having a meal, and I was watching him in this tiny basement with loads of sweaty goths. I was one of those, obviously. I was one of those. I'm not like judging, and I remember it just being phenomenal.
Do you know what the worst possible thing about that scenario is? What I've just thought is that the only question that I think to ask you now is, where did your mum and granddad go to eat?
I think they went to like TGI Friday. No, I think they went to like, it was somewhere, I remember like they were like, yeah, we gone over fish and chips. It was somewhere that has like 2 for 1 at Harvester or like Frank and Benny's or like TGI. It was somewhere like, it was quite English. Like one of them English like
TGI Fridays is not English.
No, but it's one of them like staple things that English people love to do. You know what I mean? It's like
Harvester is, yeah.
Harvester's 100%. Like,
can't knock a Harvester, mate. I love a Harvester.
Harvester's great. A salad bar.
Love a salad bar, mate.
Salad bar.
Don't worry about it. It might not look like it, but this fella likes a salad bar, so fuck off. Anyway, carry on. I keep interrupting you, Jamie. I'm sorry.
It's fine because we're having so much fun. You know, you can't when everyone wants to speak.
Not as much fun as you had with all your sweaty goth friends.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was
That's-
so awesome. You know what? I've got a YouTube account from then, and I filmed the whole thing. And it's still online. My videos from that night are still online, and literally, I was so close. All you can see is like just Billy Valo's face, like it was beanie on.
Are you ashamed to tell everyone what the account is?
No, but it makes sense. Yes, what it's called. Heartogram Tipo.
That is just like classic, like you're just like a teenager and you're just really into this band. You know, I miss that. Like, obviously, I get well into bands, but you know, when you're a teenager, it's just like everything, it envelops your entire world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess we do it in different ways now. We spend a lot of our time on just our band, but like when you're like a kid and you're just like, you find this band and you're just like, oh my god, this is insane! This is so cool.
And like, when you think back at the bands you first see, like it also like shapes like for instance him. The reason why I play Gibson SG is because Lindy Lindstrom, the guitarist, played SGs, and I bought a Laney because he had a Laney, and like it's them little things that like you think back on, oh, that's why I have this, and it goes back to them time. That was 2003, and my guitar's from 2003, which is that year that I first got into them properly. Like, it's weird when you think back about that. But yeah, best gig.
Here comes Ruben.
It's not Ruben. It's not Ruben because I was kind of like going to Ruben quite late considering.
Not Ruben. It's Jamie.
Yeah, it's Jamie Lehman actually. All right.
No, carry on. What is it?
It was. I was thinking so many times, and then one just popped up, and I was like, "That is the best." Rage Against the Machine, when they did that free show at Finsbury Park, and I got free tickets for like 3 friends and me.
How did you manage to get that?
For some reason, I logged on and had all their details, get to register like Glastonbury, all our pictures and stuff, and I got through and got everyone's ticket in one, and I was like, "What?" And we all had a party the night before at my mum's house, and went the next day, and it was just phenomenal. The scenes. What
year was this?
Oh, man, 2008.
My friend, I hope you didn't fucking know us at the time because we didn't get a bloody invite, did we?
No, pretty filthy.
3 friends, yeah, not us, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. It was probably.
I think it was 2008. Was it 2010? 2008. Sorry.
Yeah, no. To be fair, we didn't know.
I only met Jamie in about 2012, I think.
Yeah. We didn't.
13.
Maybe then. You're all right.
Doesn't count. But yeah, like the support bands was the original Gallows, Cypress Hill. Like there was some phenomenal, and one that I can't mention. It was a DJ set by someone from a Welsh band.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Little face. Like I got it straight away and then laughed.
They wore masks,
and
he did for years, didn't he? Obviously.
Yeah. Now he's wearing an orange jumper.
Yeah. I mean.
Am I right?
Am I right?
Am I right?
Yeah, that was just phenomenal. There's people like jump because it was free tickets, and obviously you couldn't like it was capacity of like what maybe 50, 60,000, maybe more. And people were pushing down security barriers, jumping over the fence to get in when Rage came on. And then afterwards, we got blocked in like a tunnel by police horses because there was too many riots. There's people just having fun. There was people like naked surfing buses, London buses. Like it was just an absolute scene.
Naked surfing alone.
To be fair, man, I remember that was after they got number 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, but before they came out, they like an animation of like Simon Cowell and Joe McKelvey. Was it Joe McKelvey or something like that?
Yeah, it was and Joe McKelvey. He was so gutted because he didn't get the number 1. Yes.
But there was like a 5-minute animation of that, and then they came out with all their yellow boiler suits with the things on. It was just like the atmosphere, because it was a free gig. Everyone was like, they came number 1. It was like some massive thing. I can't even explain to you the absolute atmosphere was like electric. It was fizzing.
One of those things, like once in a lifetime sort of right place, right moment sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think that like them sort of things are needed, and like I don't know if it would be celebrated nowadays as that big of a thing.
No,
That
probably
X
not.
Factor was, I think that was probably the last dregs of when X Factor was big, and I think that killed it off, like the number one. No one really gives a shit about X Factor number one now. You know what I mean? No one
the only person that
cares.
gets Christmas number one now is bloody fucking Lad Baby.
Yeah,
So,
YouTubers are
which
like comedians.
I don't have a problem if they do it for charity. So,
I'd
but,
rather them get
yeah.
than some fucking film with like six
Yeah, exactly.
or
If
seven,
anything, they've actually worked quite hard for it. Really, when you
six
think
or
about it.
seven like writers on like a pop song, and it's
All they do is covers. But yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's not get started on this, but maybe when we're on our Christmas special,
yeah.
like in 8 months' time. But Christmas songs ain't what they used to be, that's for sure.
No, there's no Slade anymore.
That's yeah. We need to do at Christmas. We need to do a countdown of our like top Christmas songs.
Getting ahead of yourself there, Ben. Okay, now we're planning episodes.
How many days are you planning to do this? Because I've only got like 3.
Yeah.
All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. That's probably it.
And we are going to play Room 101.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Remember, who was the presenter of Room 101? He reminds me of James May. I don't know why he looks like James May in my head. In my head, it's James May, but it's not.
Because I remember in the original, there was an original one, and then it came back with Frank Skinner, didn't it? But
Frank Skinner was good. He was the best replacement they could have got.
the original was who was the original? Like that's gonna do my head in.
Wait, I got it. Let's have a look. I'll give you a clue. Fuck it. This is a new game. This is an extra game. Okay, it was free. There was free.
Okay, the one before.
No one knows. Okay, the second
The
one.
one before Frank Skinner was the most famous one, wasn't he? Give me the initials.
PM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Merton.
Yeah, well done. I wouldn't have got that. Do you know who was there before him?
Give me the initials.
NH.
Nick Hancock.
How did you get that?
I'm just
This guy's fucking pub quiz master over here.
Was there
tell you
one
what, to get money. No, is it? All right, one before that. What's the initials then? Back it off.
Isn't it like
It was this.
George Orwell, a book by George Orwell?
Yeah,
isn't it?
George. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There's your third.
Look at this guy. Do you know what? To get the money for our next recording, we should just fucking enter loads of quizzes and just let Ben run riot on it. Absolutely tear it apart.
Oh dear.
Enjoy this one. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so we're playing Room 101.
It's Fred's turn.
Shout out to Murto and bloody
Nick Hancock and Frank Skinner. Lads.
So, on this week's 101.
What does Fred want to put in Room 101?
Right.
Here we go.
This one was a bit of a...
Fred.
I couldn't...
Fred.
Yeah.
By the way, before you start, sorry to interrupt. What's your figure doing behind you?
It changes all the time.
It's like he's on the naughty step.
They change it every day. I don't know, he looks like he's hanging his head in shame.
Looking Slender Man.
Yeah, he's just sitting there going, I can't do this anymore. I just can't take this anymore.
Yes, because he has to listen to us all the bloody time.
He's on episode 3.
Oh,
if you look closely, when in the beginning of our Zoom meeting, he was doing another pose. And then as he was listening to the conversation, he changed into this.
It's like an Easter egg. Every different episode is going to be like in a weird thing, holding weird things that like go into a whole new episode. It's like a QR code. You have to scan it. Down the K. Sorry, Fred, to interruption on that shit. Anyway, carry on. Sorry. That was an absolute joke.
I broke it. Anyway, the seltzer down.
So solemn.
So, if I say it first, then we decide which one of the two should go into room 101. Because, all right, for me, it's like basically, when you're sort of driving along, or if you're just walking along
me
the
and
road.
Jamie don't know this at all, but yes.
Okay, but it doesn't matter.
What's a
You've been on a
car?
road, and you've probably knowing it's probably one of you wankers that do this anyway. So it might be one of you guys that end up in the room 101 anyway. So.
Well, we have to all agree.
Okay, I'll tell you from my point of view. So I'll be driving along, and there's those pedestrian crossings where the pedestrian gets to press the button to cross.
Yeah.
And it's not really the actual crossing that I think should go into 101. I think it's more just the people that press it once and then think, oh, it's gonna switch on even faster if I just press the button even more, like impatiently just pushing it like.
But if you're driving in your car, why does that affect you? I think
because I'll tell you why it affects me. Because what annoys me is you get the people that push it, okay, and then when there's they push it even without looking up. Without even looking up, they just on their phone, or they push it without even looking, and then they look up. There's no cars, and then they go, and then they're about half a mile down the road, and I'm standing there by a fucking red light with no one crossing, going,
Fred,
thank you, appreciate that.
Can I just say one thing? That is one of the only things in my day-to-day life that gives me a lot of pleasure.
But doing that
you're like, oh, look at me, I'm in a car.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Ben, stop doing that. Like, Ben's fucking prophet. The fucking prophet. Our leader, Benjamin.
I love it. And I like the fact that I'm off up the road. That's the best thing. When I just press it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm crossing. And then when I'm across the road and I'm walking up the road, and then those people there in the car like, oh, they're quicker than you because I'm driving, and they're sitting there, and I know they're getting angry, and it's bringing me joy.
So you can fuck off into room 101 then. You and your type.
Do you remember that myth about the only thing about for the blind people at the bottom that spins round? Do you remember the myth that if you spun it round, it'd make the lights turn on quicker?
Yeah. That's bullshit.
Look at Fred's face. What the fuck?
And also, when I'm stood next to someone at the crossing and I've pressed it once, and the light goes on, and then they come and press it, and then I start to get
even you press it.
I start to get wound up because I'm like, mate, you can see I've already pressed it. The light's on, and by you pressing it even more, you're just telling me what an impatient twat you are, and I don't want to spend any time near you.
Okay, now, Fred, I can understand that annoying you, but if I just play devil's advocate slightly, you're the one being an impatient little twat when you're in the car and you have to wait at the lights.
Yeah.
Those things were put there as a safety measure to stop people from getting run over.
For someone crossing. But when that person's already crossed, that person's not even there anymore. That person who pressed the button's gone. And I'm standing there waiting. And I think, I may be wrong here, but I think a cop can actually pull you for that.
For what?
For that, for pushing the button and walking.
Oh, piss off.
Yeah. I think, maybe wrong.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Fred, but we can't put people that press the button. I mean, come on, you can't take that pleasure away from me.
Right, Fred, I understand how annoying it is.
I thought about this. At first I was upset with the system. See, I thought why is it that
the justice system?
Yeah, no, I thought, well, fair enough. People need to cross. They need to cross. You push the button, you slow the traffic down. You go, okay? But there should be with all the technology you have now, there should just be a
technology you have nowadays.
Yeah, with a sensor.
Right,
when you get
here we go. Wait for this.
When you get to the crossing, it senses that there's someone there, and it just it puts the signal out. But if there's no one there, just let the traffic go. Because to be honest, stopping the traffic, nothing causes more CO2 emissions than an idling car.
He's trying to get into like emissions and like
But
it's like my one last week.
CO2 emissions because I'm walking. So why don't you just stop driving if you're that worried about the emissions?
No, because I'll get an electric car one day and then we can all just,
Fred, I agree with you. Like, it's annoying when people keep pressing it. Like, but I think it's like a niggly thing. Like, regardless if they press it a lot, the light's still going to go.
Annoyance.
Yeah, no,
I think
I will agree with you that people that that is annoying. Once the button's been pressed, it's got that huge light that says wait. You know that it's already been pressed. There's a ring round the fucking metal button. It's obviously been pressed already. That, and then when someone comes up and they start, that is annoying. I will agree that can go into room 101 because that is, yes, you're right. That is just impatience and people being plebheads. But I will never ever. You will never find a day that I will put pressing the button and then walking across and then the car's having to stop whilst you're walking off up the road. There is nothing more joyous than that feeling.
I hate that.
It's freedom. It's freedom. You just want to gallop away.
I hate even doing it to other cars because I know what it's like as a driver. You sit there and you're watching them walk away.
So you've just admitted to the fact that you actually do it as well.
Like, you yoda,
Yoda. Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah, yoda.
Yoda.
Like, when I get to a crossing, the first thing I do is I don't press the button unless there's loads of traffic. If there's nothing, I'll wait. I'll sometimes just stand and wait. Yeah, because I just hate it. I don't like it being done to me, so I don't like to do it to others.
Look, the veins in his head are getting big. The veins in his big old bald head are like throbbing out. He's that angry.
Anyway, so my point was, I think I want to stick the people that do it for the wrong reasons into 101. So Ben, you can lead the way, mate.
You can't put people in there, Fred.
Hang on, we didn't set out the rules here on this.
I'm sorry, Fred. There's no unanimous decision on that. I'm not putting my own enjoyment in room 101.
Yeah, I'm not putting myself into room 101.
Well, I'll put the fact that like if there was like a like an attribute of someone that like that continuously pressing it, that attribute can go in room 101 for sure. Like, 100%.
I think it should be simplified. There should just be a timer.
If you press it once, if you press it more than once, you get electrocuted.
But Fred, there can't be a timer because the whole point of a pedestrian crossing is people only press it. If there was a timer, it would just be stopping you randomly anyway. The whole point of that button being.
No, but you're walking up to it and you can see 10 seconds till it comes on, and then I'll just have to wait 10 seconds and go. And then it gives you a timer of how long you have to get across.
What, like in America?
Yeah, just a timer. So no one should be given the option. You should just be, if you want to cross here now, you've got, or you can just go and get hit by a car. Fine, either way, it's up to you.
Well,
no, I know pedestrian crossings are good. I think what annoys me is when people don't even look up. They don't look up and they just press it like, oh, that's my privilege now. They have to stop now, even though I'm not even looking at it. So look around you.
Sometimes.
Just look. If there's no one there, you go. Don't even waste the electricity.
Sometimes I'll look both ways and I'll see there's a car in the distance and it's really far away. And I know I can make it across. And I start to walk across and just press it as I'm walking across. Because I know that it's going to stop people like you and you're going to cry about it.
Yeah. Next time I see you, I'm riding into you.
How do you die? Oh, Fred ran him over. Why? I watched episode 3 of Dude Richard Safari.
Well, actually, no. I drove past him and then I saw it was Ben, so I reversed
get about 30 minutes in, so I'd be the first person to ever get 30 minutes into one of these episodes.
Yeah, it probably freeze anyway.
This week, Ben's zooming in from hospital after crushing his hip.
Okay, well,
it's just a gravestone.
That's it now, Fred. I ain't going in room 101. No chance.
Yeah, you're not sticking yourself in there.
I don't think we can put the people in, like people that do that in there, because then like.
Jamie, come on, you must have done that once or twice and found pleasure in it.
I mean, yeah, but I feel really awkward like doing it because like. But then again, because we don't drive. When sometimes I'm going past like zebra crossings and shit, sometimes cars speed past me. I'm like, you've seen me waiting here, and like sometimes. And then the other.
Only there was a way to make those people pay. Oh, there is. It's called button on a pedestrian crossing. It's fucking you.
You run down the road and get him next time.
But on the other spectrum, sometimes when like you wait and they go on then, it's like, wait a minute, you don't walk. If I just carried on walking through every zebra crossing, I'll get hit by a car. Sometimes they'll wait until I know they're stopping, and sometimes they go this. They go, so. Have you seen some of the people that speed past me when I like go past? Do you know what, Fred? In your argument, the same people that press that button, the same people on trains, that they press the button before it lights green, and if you're in front of them and you're waiting, and they go, you can hear them tighten behind you, like press it. It's like no, it hasn't. I'll press it so it won't open. You fucking foon.
You hear them behind you going.
I think I've said foon 3 times. It means buffoon, by the way. I mean, what the fuck is this kid saying? This lingo.
Yeah. Okay.
I've always thought when you first said it, I thought it meant
presses of buttons can go into room 101.
Yeah, unnecessary pressing of buttons can go in room 101.
In place. But you talk about that at a pedestrian crossing, right? But 3 or 4 years ago, I was crossing the road just down the road by me. And it was one of those pedestrian crossings with the yellow lights, so you have right of way all the time.
A zebra crossing.
Is it a zebra crossing? Yeah, okay. So I was crossing, and this car came flying down, and only just missed me. And as she drove past, her and her whole family were looking straight at me through the side window of the car, just like. And I'm just
I would have shouted something. I couldn't even like say on this call.
Anyway, yeah, okay. Well, that's gone in. The pressing buttons has gone in, but not.
Yeah, unnecessary pressing of buttons. Like not the people themselves, but like that goes in.
They're as bad as the people who get into a lift and they perfectly know it's going down, but they still press to go to a higher level.
I do that just in case that like he doesn't do anything else. No. I don't go in lifts. I'm scared of lifts. Can
you guys help me figure something out? Well, my missus and I had this argument, right?
Oh.
All right. She believe that when you're waiting for a lift and you press a button, right? Let's say you're at an airport or something and you're on the high level, or no, you're on the let's say you're on the middle level, right?
What level are we on?
Your car's parked down the bottom, right? What do you press? What do you press?
What do you mean?
Which button do you press?
Down.
Middle button.
Why do you press the down button?
To go down.
Okay, this is my point, right? So, according to the missus, right, it doesn't matter what button you press.
Now. He's scared to get told off.
No. Next door. No. No, but she'll agree. She'll agree. No, but I don't want to come stomping in your gang, and hear my side. No, this is it, right?
Stomping.
No, she'll listen to it and then she'll get her say. So, she tells me that it just calls the lift and it doesn't matter which way you go. It just calls the lift. And I say, no, it indicates the lift which way you're going. And if the lift stops and it says it's going up, don't get into it. You got to get into a lift that's going down. Am I right or am I wrong?
That's the point of the lights pointing up or down.
Okay. All right.
You're right, Fred.
Little old me will just get in the lift then you go, regardless. If it was going up or down.
Where
are you going, Jamie?
The looks you get when you get into a lift and everybody's going down.
The only time I get lifts when someone drives up into a shopping mall, but I'm like, shit, I didn't tell them I hate lifts or escalators. So I'm like, now I'm stuck on 4 floors up. What should
don't
I
know how
do?
you're gonna deal.
Stay in the
How you
car
gonna
like
deal
a
with
dog?
How are you gonna deal with flying?
He's not.
I'm not dealing with it until I've always said though. I've always said, and people can back me up on this. I've always said, if you get offered a tour abroad, I will get on a plane. But I'm not
US
doing it.
tour.
I'm not doing it for holidays or anything like that.
US tour. US
Plenty of
tour.
alcohol, maybe.
I've always said, US tour. I'll get on a plane. I need a lot of Valium and fucking single malt.
Yeah.
You haven't got much. You haven't got
In the
much choice.
vein.
We'll knock you out straight before.
Fill me up with Lafroig. That's not a single. Is it a single malt?
Right.
That's a
anyway,
very-
that's room 101 done, isn't it? Really.
That's
So.
a smoky fruit. Would you rather?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather
Uh-huh.
know how you will die or when you will die?
That's brutal, isn't it?
Grim.
That's brutal.
I love how like a really like horrible, like disgusting one. You're like, ew, but easily he go, I'll drink a pint of, but like know when you'll die.
But that's really the thing, because like if you found out how you would die, you would just be like waiting. But then if you found out, you'd be waiting. But then if it was a really horrific way to die, you'd be like, oh God, this is gonna be rubbish. You know, when you got like, like a bad day's coming up where you got to do something that you really don't want to do, and you just wait. You know it's coming, and that's awful.
Yeah.
And then
Next Tuesday I'm gonna.
if you know when
Next Tuesday I'm gonna get hit by a bus. Yeah.
I think I'd rather know when, because then I could at least plan. All right, I've got to get some. So, like, okay, if some say you said it's when, and then someone said it's in 2 years' time, I'd be like, well, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm quitting my job. I'm doing some like badass stuff.
But then
I'm not worried. I don't have
the
to worry
when
about
doesn't
the
tell
future.
you. The when doesn't tell you how. So when might be the day you die, but let's say you die of like a long debilitating disease that takes like a year and a half to kill you.
Yeah, but at least you don't know you're going to get that disease, if that makes sense. Like if someone said today, oh, you're going to die, but it's going to be of this long-ass, disgusting disease, you'd be like, oh God, man. And then you just be wait, and you wouldn't know when, so you'd think it might start tomorrow. You'd just be, it'd be awful.
So I initially thought that this question was really hard until I actually thought about it. I was like, if you knew how, it would be absolutely soul destroying. Like, you instantly go to things like crashes or things, but it's probably, what if it's something stupid like you fall over? Like, how vague would that be? You'd be like,
Couldn't leave the house, would you?
Shit.
Yeah, you'd be scared of.
But it could be on your last. It could be your 95th birthday.
Yeah.
It could be the same day.
Yeah, I prefer to know when, because at least if they say like, oh yeah, you'll be like 90 odd years old, at least I can live as dirty as I fucking can until then.
Dirty. At least I can live as dirty as I can until then.
Pain, smoke, and everything. Knowing I'm fine, 95. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, but Fred, it's not going to be that, though, is it?
We've just said 95, and now we're just like, yeah, we want to live at fucking 95, sipping our fucking alcohol every day.
Okay, yeah, that's done. That's easy.
Everyone's choosing to know when.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with when.
That's a good one. I think that's a good answer.
Just to be honest, I think no way of dying is nice anyway.
No,
so knowing
but at least
how you're going to die is pretty irrelevant anyway. Unless someone goes, oh, you'll die peacefully in your sleep. I'll be like, well, that's fine. I don't even know about it.
But it's knowing that as well, isn't it?
I'd love that. Well, that's the best way to go, isn't it? If we're talking about what's the best way to go, the best way to go is just in your sleep. You don't know about it.
Phenomenal, phenomenal work. Well, that's like clean sheet.
You wouldn't live in fear, would you? You wouldn't live in fear, would you?
You'd be loving
No.
life because you're like, regardless of where I am, if I go to sleep, I just make sure every day is a bonus.
If
But
you
you know
found
what?
that out and you knew that it was going to be in your sleep and there's nothing that could change that,
It'd be
you
amazing.
just go, you do all sorts of mad
It'd be
shit.
crazy. It'd be speedball and
you would-
everything.
Would you though?
You'd be able to fly, Jamie, because you wouldn't be worried about dying in the flight.
Unless I fell asleep.
On the flight.
And then as you guys going, don't let him fucking sleep. Don't let this
You'd
prick
be
sleep.
scared of sleep.
No, as if this cunt dies in his sleep. Oh no, I'm thinking about plane crashes.
Do you know what it would be like? It would be like Fred's first gig, wouldn't it? I can't get no sleep.
Faithless.
You'd be fucking so scared of sleeping, you'd develop insomnia.
Yeah.
And then you'd hate your life because you're so tired and drained all the time.
Jamie will finally get relaxed enough on the plane that he'll go, actually, you know what, I might have a nap. Crash.
No, but it doesn't crash. I just die in my sleep.
No, but you
That's
were
what I
asleep.
thought.
So there's a loophole. You actually died from a plane crash, but you were sleeping and you got told it was in your sleep.
Technically, you died in your sleep.
It's like fucking Lost.
So what we're saying is, Jamie, that even though you're scared of flying, even if you got told that you're going to die in your sleep, it would still be from a plane crash.
Yeah.
Just not escape.
You just had so much Valium and whiskey that you haven't woken up for all the screaming.
You could have
This is
saved
it,
yourself.
boys.
You could have saved yourself, but you're just like this.
It's not even a bad plane crash. Like everyone's got out. It's like what's that
Everyone
fucking
else
film with Tom
survived
Hanks?
except fucking
What's that
Valiant
Tom Hanks
in the
film?
corner.
Everyone's on the wing. It's me just in the
Castaway.
back. No, the one where he flies a plane. You prick. Why has Tom Hanks been in so many plane tragedy films?
Castaway.
What's the other one? Captain Tom. No, that's
Captain Phillips. That was on a boat, you moron.
Tom Hanks. Captain Tom.
Captain Tom.
Sir Captain Tom, you prick.
Saving Private Ryan, sir.
Oh, okay, next.
Oh.
This one's a bit more lightning.
Upbeat, a bit more upbeat.
Yeah. So, would you rather live?
Yeah, I would. Thank you.
That's it. Would you rather? I've got a frog in my throat, or it might be a toad. Chode. Would you rather
I've got
live in an amusement park or a zoo?
What? Would you rather
so
be?
What?
We've got straight away. We've got to iron out some of these wrinkles. So, if you're living in the zoo, are you living with all the animals?
No, just around. Like you're like almost like you got the free roam of like just.
Right, either way, there's going to be shit tons of annoying fucking kids around all day. There's no.
Yeah.
Can you
Oh,
pick
wait,
which,
just
can you
say
pick
what
which
the
zoo?
two were again. What were the two again?
An amusement park or a zoo.
Yeah, but what are you doing? What are you?
You live. Would you rather live?
Oh, live. Okay,
Would
you
you
live in
rather-
it.
This one, he really can't. So
Would
You would
you
live.
rather live in an amusement park or a zoo?
Right. Okay. I missed the live part.
Oh, would you rather amusement park or a zoo? We're like, what
Like,
about
would you rather
zoo?
visit or an amusement park or a zoo? Like, okay.
I think so there's no bet, like they're both as annoying as each other in terms of it would just be chaos the whole time.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
people, kids,
Kids,
families, annoying
families,
people.
and it's just like, oh, let's go to the fucking fuck off. But personally,
See,
amusement
mine's
park.
really what? Okay, why?
Although no, it depends. This is what I was going to say though. Can you pick which one? Because most amusement parks are in the middle of fuck all nowhere, like, you know, thought parks in the middle of fucking nowhere. Whereas if I could pick, maybe I live in New York Zoo, that would be cool because I'd be in like fucking the middle of New York. It would be sick.
Yeah. I mean,
So
you
I
can
can just have
still
that.
go out of the zoo and an amusement park. It's just where you like abode.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Most amusement parks are in the middle of fucking nowhere, whereas
That's
zoos
true,
are
yeah.
usually in the middle of cool cities. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Well, some of them are.
and also, actually, I don't even know why I'm thinking about this. I don't know why I said amusement park to start off with, because zoos are awesome.
Yeah, imagine
And
just
you
like
can make friends
imagine
with all the
after when it
animals.
closed. When it closed, imagine just like roaming around and like you'd live there, so
You'd
you
have
could
loads
make
of
the
pets.
yeah, and you would like make all these like amazing little relationships with these animals, like
Yeah. just fucking just normal relationship, yeah, Jamie.
don't know.
There's nothing untoward going on here, is there?
I've had my eye on the chimp in 3C for a while.
3C, it's not a prison. I mean, it is.
It is for them.
It is a
Jamie.
prison,
Be
Jamie.
ashamed
Come
of
on.
yourself.
The vegan telling me a zoo's not a prison.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine seeing animals locked up.
I've had my eyes on the chimp in 3C.
See, that's the name of the episode.
3CPO.
That's the
Unbelievable.
We've had some conversation.
I don't know, mate. I'm more of a giraffe man myself. It's the long
Neither
neck.
had it, mate.
What Fred? What would you choose? I would choose zoo because I think that like making friends with the animals would be amazing, and like just I think that'd be a better place. And like after dark, like you can go on the amusement park, obviously after the people go. But me personally, I hate amusement parks. I hate rides, but animals would be amazing.
That's all I'm thinking is like, you know, I'm thinking more about after hours and what you do after hours. So during the day,
mate,
like Ben says,
look,
it's just full of annoying families and all that. You just, I don't want to be an hour during the day, but during the night, I think you could take a nice stroll through the zoo and go and have a chat with the animals and whatever. And the night time, what are you going to do at an amusement park?
Yeah, exactly. You're
not going to switch the fucking thing on, are you?
Switch it on like a Scare Electrics.
Yeah, well, I'm not just going to go and take a ride on this thing. No.
Good nemesis. You get bored as well.
A nice walk around the zoo, a lovely little walk around the zoo, catching all the sights, you know, stars shining, and then you slide into 3C with old Chimpy Boy and have a fucking night.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
That's phenomenal.
Me and Harambe getting it on.
Harambe getting it on. All right. And on that bombshell,
should
we do one more? We've got 7 minutes. One more?
Go on then.
Do one more.
Quick fire.
It's the funny ones here. Oh god. Okay. All right. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
This one is: would you rather lose the ability to lie or believe everything you were told?
Lose the ability to lie.
Why?
Because the second you start believing everything you're told, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm being genuinely deadly serious there. You would get taken advantage of. At least if you lose the ability to lie, like, I don't think I, on a day-to-day basis, lie that much.
It'd be stupid shit, like...
you would just become a more harsh human being. Like, you wouldn't be able to be nice to people in terms of when you say something to someone when they're like, oh, I've done this drawing, is it really nice? You would, instead of being like, oh, yeah, it's lovely to be, it's fucking pocket shit, you cunt. But, you know, at least then you're just still being an honest, nice person.
No, but you wouldn't be nice. Imagine, like sometimes you'd be like, is that okay? But like, no, not really.
Yeah, no, it's not. If anything, your life might get better if you couldn't lie.
You'll get more.
If you believe everything you get told, it gets fucking worse quickly.
Yeah, because the people that do have the ability to lie will just take advantage of you.
Imagine believing everything you're told. It's basically being like,
Like, imagine that. If you believed everything you were told, oh mate, imagine you'd be skint within like, you get people coming up to you going, give me this money, and people would find out about it. You'd be like that little weird one that couldn't that everyone knew that they could take advantage of. So they'd be sidling up to you with all these harebrained schemes like
Pyramid
pyramid
schemes.
schemes and bollocks. And before you know it, you've got no money left. You're living on the street and you're fucking bollocks.
You bollocked. What about you, Fred?
No, I agree. I'd lose the ability to lie.
Yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest.
It's a no-brainer, yeah. I mean, we lie every day, but I think most of the time we just lie to ourselves. We don't really tell lies to people unless we feel like we have to. You know,
They're
like
polite,
obviously you
nice,
tell like little white lies or things to just avoid a really nasty situation or something.
Okay, here's a really quick one because that was so easy to do. Okay, it's around the same sort of you know, you'll get it. Would you rather speak your mind or never speak again?
My mind. Speak my mind. Easy.
Imagine
Imagine speaking your mind.
All sorts would happen. Because nowadays you can't even like sometimes you'll say stuff as jokes. People's jokes get put out of context now on social media and stuff, and people get like binned off so quickly when they probably haven't done anything remotely bad. The second you start speaking your mind, sometimes
On everything.
Job. You would not be able to keep a job because the first day would come along and your boss or someone would come up to you and they'd say something, you'd say you're a fucking cunt straight.
But at least with speaking your mind, you can say, look, I've got this thing of like, I've got this thing where I have to say everything that's in my mind. But if you can't speak, at least you can back yourself up and go.
No, but you can't back yourself up. But like, what do you mean? Is that what's wrong with you?
That's speaking your mind. That's already going. This is on my mind. I have to say it now.
No, but like, why? Is it like a medical problem? And you're like, no, it's not backed up.
I've got a loophole here, guys. I've got a loophole. We get one of those little Stephen Hawking things, and it just talks for us. Done.
No, but that's different. You're still speaking. You're still speaking. You're through a device.
Could he speak?
Your hair looks shit.
It's a keyboard. You could write it down on a keyboard. You just have a little thing and you write it down. It did not say lose the ability to write.
You've literally found like.
Yeah, but writing is just putting down what's in your mind, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. But you can control it. So if you're not speaking
exactly. What is it?
All right, get rid of the loophole. Obviously, you're never going to speak again.
What do you mean you can't get rid of the loophole?
You're never speaking again, though. If you got rid of the loophole, you're never speaking again.
I'm not speaking. I'm writing, you prick.
No, but I'm never speaking again.
This is would you rather? It's not LA law.
This is would you rather.
Yeah. It's not fucking Ally McBeal. I found a loophole, guys. We can get out of this game we just made up.
I found a loophole in fucking would you rather. Fucking Prison Break.
It's not even a loophole. It's just fact.
Loophole. A loophole in would you rather.
I found a loophole.
It's not even real. The point of the game is finding A or B question answer to the question, and you found a fucking.
Comes along. I've got C. It's a loophole.
I've got 8 loopholes here.
No, it's not a loophole. I'm just picking.
All right.
I'm just picking.
Here's a loophole. We need to end this. We need to wrap up today. We need to wrap up today. It's been good. It's been fun. We'll see you next week. Awesome. We'll see you next week.